We're going to introduce you to one of the toughest women in the country, a woman who is probably only about 50 kg soaking wet, but she's the kind of person you meet and you question whether you're doing enough with your time, enough with your life.
You see, Tara Mulvany circumnavigated our three main islands almost entirely by herself in a kayak, and she's got plenty more in the pipeline. We sent our most intrepid reporter, Matt Chisholm, to Milford Sound to meet her.
The stunningly majestic Milford. With 100-knot winds and that driving Fiordland rain, really is only fit for the big boats.
Yeah, go, quick,
But right in amongst it is this tenacious wee sea princess, Tara Mulvany. Is Tara tough or mad or both?
Oh, she's pretty rugged, isn't she? Pretty hardcore. I think she's the toughest woman that I've ever met.
If you're not familiar with the relatively unknown adventurer yet, I'm picking you will be in the future.
I'm going to circumnavigate the whole world.
Optimistic, yes, but the 25-year-old has made a bloody good start. The Invergiggle Giggler, the first woman to circumnavigate our three main islands, unsupported, almost entirely on her own.
What did you carry with you?
I've got my tent, my sleeping bag, thermarest, change of clothes, my cooking gear, and about 2 weeks worth of food.
And where's the makeup?
Just in this bag.
You actually had some?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't need it.
Tara was always going to get amongst it.
I grew up in a pretty active family.
As an 11-year-old, she summited aspiring.
It was pretty epic, actually.
At 12, she all but conquered Cook.
That's kind of a long story. I don't really want to get into it.
The Milford Sound Guide went on to travel and work in Thailand, Nepal, South America and Canada. But even more impressive than that, what she's achieved at home.
An entire winter we spent in the fjords, just living out of our kayaks and fishing and yeah, just sort of living off the land a little bit. And yeah, so that kind of progressed to the South Island, and then I figured if I'd done the South Island, I might as well do the North Island and Stewart Island. So.
The unforgiving South, probably the most challenging.
Because it was the middle of winter and going up the west coast, so I was just smashed by storms, one after the other.
Tara, I've got to ask, what happened to the boyfriend?
Oh, I don't know if you can use the word boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Short story is, while she temporarily lost her, well, friend heading up the west coast, she lost him for good coming down the east.
Why did you carry on when your friend left?
Well, I knew right from the beginning that that's what I wanted to do, is to make it back to Milford, and yeah, I just didn't see any reason not to keep going. Knew I could do it on my own.
5 months after starting out, she did just that.
Is this something that people should be doing by themselves, Tara?
Yeah, it's safe for everyone. Don't use that.
Her courageous journey, now in black and white.
I actually wrote it for myself. I didn't think it would be published, and that just sort of happened.
The North Island was next, an entirely solo mission over 4 months.
They all thought I was pretty crazy, especially on the west coast when I paddled into places like the Kaikoura Harbour, and even the boats are pretty scared to venture out over the bar, and yeah, I think they were just shaking their heads really.
The head shaking continues. Tara's next mission, a 2,000-kilometre paddle through the Arctic in 2015.
It's pretty cold out there, and 24-hour daylight, and polar bears and walruses and a lot of hungry wildlife.
At this point, I've got to question your sanity, Tara.
Do you want to come?
That's a no.
Whatever happens there, one thing's for certain, Tara Mulvany isn't going to die wondering.
You're going to die giggling and having a go, aren't you?
Giggling, probably in a big waterfall.
How does she not look tired?
What we need, first of all, we need to establish a rule around the pickup lines that Matt Chisholm uses.
Well, I know.
You don't need any makeup.
Makeup? Oh, he's sweet.
Give it a rest.
Every girl wants to hear that.
Do they?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
You just need to say that to me more often.
She
Make me
hasn't.
feel good.
She hasn't had a house for 2.5 years, right? Yeah. And so in the middle of all of that, she's got glandular fever.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known, but she was battling glandular fever. So actually,
amazing,
I can't believe she still made it.
What else happened?